Hi guys, I just wanted to introduce you to the Edel torque balanced fitting system that we have here. This is pretty new to the UK and Europe. Edel are well known in the US where they originate from. They've been in business there since I think 1996. They also make wedges and irons, but they really specialise in custom fitted putters. These putters are milled putter heads, milled from grade 304 stainless, and there's quite a unique design to help the player really with the putting, really with the off-centre hits that players tend to obviously experience in a round of golf, and this putter is really designed to help those off-centre hits, to reduce the twist on the head for those off-centre hits. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about the actual putters itself and how they work. Couple of really important points when it comes to putting. Aim and speed. Obviously one before that, which we're not going to speak about today, is green reading. But it doesn't matter how good you can read a green, if you can't aim your putter accurately over a certain distance, then there's a pretty good chance that you're not going to start the golf ball on line. So the way the fitting system has been designed and put together is with the aim and the speed to really help the golfer, become a more consistent and better putter. So we have a laser here, just a pen laser, and we'll place it on this kind of a plastic hole, and we position that in the centre of this kind of backboard, the Edel backboard, and we get the player to set up in front of the laser, and we have a small mirror that we place onto the face of the putter that they're going to try, and we simply put a golf ball in front of the putter, ask the player to aim to the imitation hole, and once they're happy with their aim, we remove the golf ball, the laser hits the mirror which is positioned on the putter face, reflects back, and it hits a point on this screen, and we can actually see if the player's aiming correctly or if they have an aim biased tendency. Maybe they're aiming a bit to the left, maybe they're aiming a bit to the right. And with the help of putter shape heads, different hosels configurations, and different aim lines that we can put on the putter, we can manipulate and quite easily change any head of the putter. When it comes to the speed, we can change the weight of the putter head, and we can change the weight in the top of the shaft with some counterbalance weights. So that's kind of how the fitting system works. It's pretty unique. We've got different length shafts as well. We've got three different heads, starting with the E1 head, which is a bit like a fat mallet. Then we have the E2, and then we have the E3. We've got 6 different lengths of shafts, starting at 32 inches and going all the way through to 37 inches. So depending on the size of the golfer that you're trying to fit, or maybe the posture that they like to use, we can obviously fit a shaft according to that posture. We've also got 3 different configurations of hosel option. We have a forward offset, we have a no offset, and we've also got a back offset, and that can really influence somebody's aim bias tendencies. We've got 3 lie angles to choose from also. We've got the standard kind of 70-degree lie angle, and then we've got 72, which is more upright, and then 68, which is more flat. We've also got some counterbalance weight options. So, you know, we've got kind of 2 types of players that Edel kind of think are out there, kind of agree that are out there. We've got a radial putter and a linear putter. So the radial putter is somebody that really uses the bigger muscles to move the putter. So the hands are very passive, which is the kind of, you know, really ideal consistent way to move the putter back and through. So you just get that kind of triangular shape between your shoulders and down your arms, and you've got a nice extension. The putter's kind of an extension of that shape, and it's very easy to go back and through. That's called a radial stroke. So we can fit according to that. With the second kind of stroke, which is a linear stroke, that's where the majority of golfers have that stroke. You know, they kind of don't move their upper body too much. They're really focusing on using their hands and their arms and their wrists to control distance and to control direction. Now, that can cause inconsistency, so we can fit according to that. If someone's more of a linear putter, we can put more weight in the top of the shaft. And if somebody maybe uses their dominant hand, maybe their right hand dominant, they can really kind of use that hand to manipulate distance and direction. We can reduce that with the help of putting the weight further down the shaft, maybe more in that dominant hand, so it'll just slightly reduce that wrist action. And we can double up that by maybe using more of a thicker grip to reduce that wrist action. You know, maybe it's a flip, or maybe it's a rotational kind of manipulation that the player's using. So we can fit according to that too. So that's pretty much the fitting system. I'm just going to show you some of the line options, the aim line options that you can get on the putter. There's 35 different options to choose from, and we can simply draw them on using, you know, a wipe or wet erase marker, get them to aim again with the laser, and see what difference that can make. So, you know, again, I think there is a correlation between right eye and left eye dominance when it comes to aiming using a putter. I'd love to do a study on that a little bit more, and hopefully one day I'll do that. But it's very difficult to get a real kind of accurate correlation to see whether, you know, a right-handed golfer, right-eye dominant player tends to aim left, or a left-eye dominant right-handed player tends to aim more online, or maybe a little bit to the right. So, you know, I'm left-eye dominant but right-handed, so I'm kind of cross-dominant. You know, majority of people, 70% of people, just in everyday walks of life, are right-eye dominant, right side, right-handed. So they'd be called same-side dominant. Do see a bit of a correlation between those players, tend to aim a little bit to the left. So we can help them to aim more towards the target than they previously do, just by maybe using a certain shape of head or a different configuration of aim lines on the putter itself.